Hello, my name is Kara Helliker, and I've done a presentation on a local company. Their name is Plaza Electronics, and I'm solving an issue for them for my class at SPC. Okay, so this is my presentation. Like I said, the company's name is Plaza Electronics, and the program that I'd like to start for them is the Loaner Appliance Program. I currently work at Plaza Electronics. So this is our description of what we do. We fix televisions and appliances, and we replace DLP lamps inside DLP televisions. We repair receivers and home theaters, and that's our company over there on the left. I'll be doing an introduction. I'll be giving the opportunity that I came up with, the benefits and risks of that opportunity, and my final recommendation. Plaza Electronics is a repair company with a common issue. With our company, we repair a lot of appliances in various counties around Tampa Bay. And we always have customers who are unhappy that their repair is going to take so long due to the extended warranty company. Because of the extended warranty company, we cannot speed up the process. They have their own processes and we have to follow them, and this can take up to 2 weeks. Just like I said before, customers are unhappy, and they can become irate because their appliances are out of working order. We spend on average about 3 hours a day talking to customers to explain them the situation, and of course they're unhappy because they don't have a refrigerator or a stove, and as you can imagine, that would be very hard for a customer to go through their normal day-to-day life without that appliance. So the idea I've come up with, and I'll talk about more in the next slide, is starting a loaner program for customers who can't live without their unit. Since going to the Appliance Repair Program, customers have had a common issue. And like I said before, they're just very unhappy that they can't have their appliance because it's having the issue, and we can't fix it for about 2 weeks, which is how long it takes the extended warranty company to get us the parts we need to repair it. Because they're unable to go about their normal week, this can cause a lot of tension, and they can be very unhappy, but I mean, what else would you expect? The opportunity that I've come up with, or the idea that I have formed through this class, is by offering appliances to customers who cannot function normally without it. The basic idea would be that the customer would explain that they're having a very hard time without this appliance. They don't have a way to get around it, and we can offer them this program where we would, as we go out there to diagnose their original unit, say their refrigerator, we would bring a refrigerator with us that they can use as their spare so that they can get throughout their week normally. Another opportunity with this is that none of our competitors offer this, so we would have an advantage over them. We don't have very many competitors in the first place. We're the biggest appliance and television repair company in Florida, but if a customer's calling around and doesn't care who's the biggest, they will look for differences. You know, what is our cost difference? How fast can we do it? But this loaner program would give us an advantage over our competitors. Okay, so the first obvious thing with this program is the cost. It's the first risk. So the breakdown of what we would need, and in my opinion, we should start off with one of each of these, but at the end, we should have 3 of each. I think that would be a good number. So refrigerators are about $450 a piece, dishwashers about $200, and stoves are about $500. So the total cost of this program to get it completely running in our home office in Largo would be about $3,450. And obviously that would be a big cost, so that's the first risk of this program. But the benefits, even though the cost is pretty high, the benefits outweigh that cost. The customers would be happier while they're waiting for their parts, and we wouldn't have so many phone calls because they're not happy. And like I said, they won't be contacting us as frequently. With them not contacting us as frequently, we would have about 3 hours more a day to spend on something more important, which averages to be about 15 hours a week. So that could solve two things for us. We could use those extra hours in our home office to put towards bigger tasks that we can never seem to find time to get to, or we can use that extra time to solve our overtime issue. We do have a problem with too much overtime amongst our employees. And with less angry customers, we have less angry phone calls, which means that our staff is definitely going to be happier, and it's going to make the workday a lot more easy. And it'll bring up customer satisfaction. So like I said before, the risks of this program are obviously the first one would be the cost. Second one, which I didn't cover before, would technicians will have a hard time loading and unloading these units into their vehicles, the vans, by themselves. Obviously, that could be an issue because they could throw out their back if they do it incorrectly. But I think that if they got the proper training, which wouldn't be very difficult, we could train them ourselves to how to unload and load these units into their van without having to put too much stress on their back, then this wouldn't be much of an issue. Another issue would be the customers don't have a place to put their broken unit while we have their loaner unit in their home. A lot of customers don't have that garage space that they would need to be able to store the unit. My final recommendation is this loaner program, obviously, which is my entire presentation. But my first recommendation would be that we'd only start with one of each of the units, a stove, a refrigerator, and a dishwasher, and start with our lead technician, which his name is Steve, and he's been with our company for over 20 years. But I think he would be a good example of that because he's very good with customers, and it would be very easy for us to be able to call the customers later and say, hey, how was the program? Did it work well for you? And also call his other customers who didn't use the program and see what the difference is in their satisfaction rating, because obviously that's going to be a very important thing for our company. Even though we're working for the extended warranty company, they're seeing us first. So if they're not satisfied with our company and the way that we handle it, despite how long it took the parts to get to us due to the manufacturer, then it's not going to matter. We're just wasting our time and resources to lose customers. And then my next suggestion would be we get 3 units of each, so 3 stoves, 3 refrigerators, and 3 dishwashers, but slowly integrate that because we may end up needing 4 stoves and 2 refrigerators and 1 dishwasher, not necessarily 3 of each, but seeing how many of each item we would use more. But we also have locations out in Orlando and Miami, so it'd be nice to start that program out there after we completely integrate it into the main office in Largo. So that is my presentation. Okay, thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.